Hey class, Professor Kev here. Today's business networking tip is called removing social media connections. You see it on LinkedIn all the time. I'm going to start removing connections because I don't talk to you anymore. If you want to stay a connection, respond to this or send me an email. Okay, I get it. It's not a bad strategy. If we're not going to ever interact, why be connections? Okay, here's why. This month, I've spoken to a connection that I haven't spoken to in 5 years. 10 years, and probably 15 years. Opportunities presented themselves. Hey, I saw something like, I know a guy that does that. We literally haven't spoken in conservatively 15 years, might even be older. I just know him through networking. He's a really good person. I reached out to him. Now, what if I followed that strategy and said, I haven't spoken to this guy in 15 years, delete him? Again, a lot of people do that. They're like, I just want to stay active with a certain amount of people. But if you do that, you may miss an opportunity. So I saw an opportunity earlier this month and it made me think of someone. I'm like, this could be a good opportunity for this person. So I looked them up on LinkedIn to send them a message. They're not connected to me anymore. Okay, move it along. And the person obviously didn't think I was valuable to them, or maybe whatever reason, but a missed opportunity. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with your strategy, but I want you to think long term because, again, I have people that I very rarely speak to all of a sudden will reach out because they saw an opportunity for me. They're like, Kev, I know you like teaching classes. This school's looking for someone. Are you interested, bro? And if I remove them as a connection, that opportunity might not be there. I remember years ago having this discussion with a friend. She was in direct sales, and her leader, or whatever expression you want to use for it, was like, look, connect with them, ask them if they're interested. If they're not, just disconnect from them. No need to stay connected. And I was like, that's really silly. And she's like, why? Like, have you ever changed your mind? Maybe I'm not interested in your product today, but something happens or I come across somebody who is. But the ask and leave just doesn't make sense and stuff. So again, different schools of thoughts on this. I have some friends that only want to stay connected with people they're actively networking with. Class, there is nothing wrong with this approach, but I want you to see the bigger picture, to stay connected to people because you don't know where life's taking you. When I look at my life working in banking, a lot of my connections are around working in banking, then being an entrepreneur, then being a professor. There's like three separate groups, and they all kind of merge from time to time. So you want to make sure that you're leaving that opportunity there so that when something happens, they can think of you. Just trying to cut people off or, trying to like, hey, if you don't respond, what's the chance to even seeing this? One last thing. What did you do to strengthen that connection? If you're going to do a post like, if you don't respond, I'm going to disconnect from you. Sure. Now, personally, I've never been like, oh, no, not that, and sent you a message. You want to disconnect, disconnect, move on, stuff. But what did you do? That's my question to you. If you're like, hey, I never speak to this person, why not? What made you connect? For me, I reach out to students every day to connect. It's just growing the network because I want to be able to help as many students as I can. And you know what? The majority of them are never going to need my help. They're just going to connect with me. Oh, he's a professor. It could be a good connection. They're never going to need me. I bet some will come back years later and be like, hey, I know we connected a few years ago, but I need help with something. That's why I'm growing the network that way. But before you hit that disconnect button, ask yourself, why did you connect with this person? If you're like me and you were just growing to grow, okay, maybe it makes sense. But did you put effort into this? Why are you expecting the other person to, connect with you and reach out to you? What are you doing? And I know when you connect with me, I send you a message, hey, thanks for connecting. We're connected on LinkedIn. You can, follow me on YouTube. You can follow me on Instagram. And some students actually do that. But before you hit that button, ask yourself, if I put effort into this relationship, In most cases, the answer is no. You put nothing into it. You connected with them for some reason. Maybe they were in your class, and then you just kind of let things slide. But you'll be surprised how life works, where people from different aspects of my life come together. People from banking, like, hey, I saw you made a shift into being a professor. This school's looking for somebody. Do you have an interest in this? Maybe I do have an interest in this. So by keeping those connections there, it allows you to grow. So again, think about it before you hit the button. But I also understand the other side. People like, well, I just want to stay connected to a handful of people that I'm interacting with on a more frequent basis. Again, I'm going to emphasize this. There's been people that I've connected with who haven't said anything to me for a long period of time. They're watching the videos, they're watching me promote students, they're watching me promote my friends, and then here they come. They're maybe looking for something. Hey, I see you giving summer shout outs. I like one. Or, hey, I've been monitoring you for a while. I like what you have to say. I have an opportunity for you. So again, before you hit that button, you never know who's watching. All right, thanks for watching. Speaking of watching, hope you have a truly dazzling day.